Hey guys, Neil here with Covers Camo, your source for custom seat covers. Today we're installing the seat covers on the 2018 Ram 3500. Awesome looking set inside here. Front and back seats, loaded up with a really cool set in here now with the perforated light gray genuine leather insert and a dark gray faux leather trim with a light gray stitch. Really cool set, just transformed the interior of this vehicle, lightened it up, and we're gonna show you how to get all this installed. It's a 40-20-40 front seat, 60-40 rear seat with the center armrest. We'll show you how to get them all on, dialed in, looking really good. Let's do it. All right guys, so we're getting started on this install. Again, a 2018 Dodge Ram 3500. Awesome looking set that we're doing inside here. It's the light gray perforated genuine leather for the insert and the dark gray for the trim. You can see the original seats are a gray, kind of a two-tone gray cloth. Really common, you see these in a lot of Dodge trucks. And it's a 40-20-40 seat, so the 20 section actually has this kind of vinyl to it already. Now we won't be putting a cover over that, so we really wanted to match as close as we could to that console, and that's why we went with this dark gray. So that'll be nice to have that looking good there. We'll show you the 20 section, but first I'm going to show you the driver seat. So we'll do the driver backrest, driver bottom, driver headrest, and then I'll show you the 20 section. I've already done the passenger seat, and I've already done the rear 40 seat back here as well. So that's because those are the same steps as the other side, and so we'll walk you through these steps now. So again, driver seat, it's going to be a nice looking set here, but the first thing that I'm going to do for the install is to get the headrest out. And to get the headrest out on Ram, it's pretty easy. There's just these two little buttons that I'm pushing on the sides right here, and pushing on those buttons and then pull this headrest out. We're going to get that headrest out of the way for right now. And here is my backrest cover right here. As you can see, the genuine leather as the insert, light gray, dark gray trim. Backside has a nice big pocket for storing your gear on the back there. So what we'll do is get this fit over. Now, one thing I like to do is I like to turn the seat covers inside out a little bit for this part, just because it gives me a little bit more to hold on to. So I'm turning that cover inside out a little bit. One thing that is helpful, because these are tight covers with it in the genuine leather series, one thing that is helpful is you could let these sit in the sun if it's a warm day, and that would loosen them up just a little bit. You don't want to don't put them in the dryer, and don't use a heat gun. A heat gun, you could melt some of these fabrics here. So I just let them sit in the sun for a little bit. That helps warm them up. And we're gonna start pulling this over now. Okay, so I'll start to get this pulled on like this. Now the insert is the genuine leather right here. The trim is the faux leather, but that gives a little bit more stretch on that faux leather. If it was all genuine leather, there'd be no way to get these covers pulled over, because this is going over the original cloth. This is not replacing the cloth. So you do got to have a little stretch to it here. Get this seat pulled up a little bit here. This is an electric seat, so I'll need to adjust the seat with the electric controls. Now, when you have it about here, it's an important thing to do is we're going to stop. We're going to go to the back. There's a seat bib that we need to release, and because the seat bib is actually going to tuck underneath the seat cover as we pull it on. Don't pull this cover all the way down yet. Release that seat bib. I'll show you how to do that and tuck it underneath. All right, so here is the seat bib on the back side. It's this carpet seat bib that covers over right here. This actually needs to be released. It releases with some plastic J-hooks right here. So you just push under, go reach underneath, push those J-hooks forward, and it releases those. So on this particular cover, this is how it works, is we are going to take the seat bib portion and tuck it underneath the seat cover, and then there's gonna be a new seat bib from the seat cover that's gonna go over that. So, and that's why I say don't pull it all the way down. I made that mistake as I was doing the passenger side. I had pulled it all the way down and then I had to pull it back up to get it underneath here. So when it's about halfway down, then release that seat bib, tuck that underneath, and now we'll keep working this seat cover down right here, and even from when I'm on the back side right here, I can work that down. I'm just gonna work it on both sides, pulling that down again over that seat bib that we've just tucked underneath there. And I'm just gonna work this side to side here. Gonna pull on that side for a little bit and then come over here, pull on this side. It is gonna be a tight fit, but that's what you want, guys, because it's gonna then, you know, fit on your seats really nice. You know, we'll get you through all this install, how to get this all fit on top of your seats here. Okay, I'm just gonna shift around to the front side and pull on that front side a little bit more. All right, so now we are gonna start taking this seat cover material. I got this pulled over so you can see this shoulder is filled in now. So I'm gonna start taking this material here and start to roll this down. Once you have it rolled over the widest portion of the seat, which is about here, then it becomes a lot easier to finish pulling this down. Definitely the tightest around kind of this area right here. But after you get it past that, it's really not too bad. And what we're gonna do is there's my install tools here, just put those to the side. Once we have that pulled down, we're going to start to smooth that out and get that to conform against the seat here. And then the next thing we're going to do is take this portion of the seat cover and push that through to the back. All right, so now what we're doing is, this is the top headrest post area. There's pre-punched holes, and we need to take this and stretch this around and tuck that underneath, okay? Now when it's this textured vinyl material, this faux leather, this actually stretches pretty good. If sometimes it's the genuine leather that you're stretching over here, and there's not a lot of stretch in that. So this one stretches pretty good, and we're just gonna stretch that around, tuck that underneath right there. So it should finish out like that. We'll do the same thing over here. The provided install tool, this trim tool, helps a lot for this piece, for this part of the install. There we go. Stretch that around. Tuck that in. Okay, good. So those are tucked in. We'll finish pulling this down, massaging the seat cover down, and then again, we gotta push that Velcro through towards the back. All right, so now we're taking this Velcro, this is on the front part of the backrest here, and I've smoothed this cover down both sides and kind of tucked in these little side areas right here a little bit more. Now I'm ready to push this Velcro towards the back because that's going to connect onto the back side right there. I've got this seat leaned back. I think it opens that up a little bit more for me. So that's where I'd recommend is recline that seat back a little bit more there. And we'll push that through towards the back. And then on the back side, I'm actually gonna grab the material with my other hand and pull some of that through just to smooth that out while I'm looking on the front side right here. The other thing I'll do is take my hand and pull down on that material right there, just to make sure I'm smoothing that down as good as I can, like that. Okay. All right, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna lean the seat forward and then we're gonna take that Velcro on the back side and connect it up. Now we're attaching this Velcro that we just pushed through to the hook Velcro that is on the back side of the cover. Okay, again, we got that seat bib tucked in, so that's out of the way. We're gonna connect these up and then we're gonna get a new seat bib here. Now, it's super helpful if you have two people to do this, actually. If you have one person really pulling on this right here and then the other person pulling down. Now, I'm gonna do it by myself just to demonstrate in case if you're don't have another helper. And I'm actually on the, coming from the front side of the seat, leaning towards the back. And I feel like I may have a little bit more pull strength right here. And I'm gonna pull this up. Now, I'll take my hand, my other hand, and make sure that I got any extra slack out of the front that I want taken out. Okay, and that's feeling pretty good up there. So again, give that a really good pull right here, and then I'm gonna take this top portion and connect up that Velcro right there. So you can see that middle section's connected really good. I'm gonna get the best connection towards the middle. We'll try to get a decent connection on the sides here. I did cut a little slit around this electric cable that's going through right here. And if you need to, you can do that. Just make sure you're only cutting the seat cover, not your cable. So I cut a little slit there just to make it a little bit easier for me to pull some of this up right here. Okay, got a decent grab right there on that. Right there, let's see how much I can grab on this side here. And on the passenger side, I wasn't able to grab too much on the sides there. Okay, a little bit right there. Definitely the biggest portion where I'm connected is that middle, which is the most important piece. Okay, so I got that connected there. That's gonna be pretty good, probably as good as you can get it with one person. Now again, if you had another person, you might be able to pull that a little bit more. We're both working at it, but that's gonna be good. So got that connected. Now you will notice I went underneath this bar. On the driver's side, it has this bar, probably because it's an electric seat. It has more brackets to connect things to. So it had this metal bar. I went underneath that, did not go around it. If I went around it, that'd be a lot harder to connect that up. So I went underneath right there. And so now this seat bib's gonna go over, and there's gonna be some S hooks. We'll show you that next to connect this new seat bib down. So I have this S hook right here connected onto this elastic right here. Now I did tie a knot in this elastic just to make it a little bit shorter. I like having these shorter because it always seems like the elastic is too long for where I want to hook it. So I have that, and I'm gonna reach underneath. Now put your safety glasses on for this, especially if you're underneath looking for these springs where I'm gonna hook it, because you don't want this flipping back towards your face. So we reach that underneath, and I'm hooking that onto a metal spring underneath the seat here, and that hooks onto the spring right there, and then yeah, okay, we're good to go. We got that hooked on right there. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll take this other one like this, same thing, hook this on right here, and go underneath with it. And yeah, always hard to show you where these springs are underneath the seat, but there's these metal springs that go side to side, and they hold your foam core, like your foam portion of your seat underneath there. And that's where we have those hooked. Okay, so that's the new seat bib there. And there's the back side of the seat. That's all looking good. Now we're gonna move on to the seat bottom. Now we're doing the driver bottom. So here's the driver bottom. Again, that light gray leather insert, dark gray faux leather for the trim. Gonna be cool looking set here, guys. I'm excited for this all to finish out. So we're gonna lay this on. Now in shipping, there's 2 straps and a buckle they're connected up to these buckles right here. So I've loosened those up. There's also a draw cord around the outside. I have that loosened up right here. So what we're gonna do now is fit this on. Now, I actually know this is the driver because it's actually got a little elastic right here that mimics this elastic that was on the original seat, because we're gonna unhook that. I don't even use these elastics because I feel like these seats, receivers, they stay in place really well and they're not moving around, but that's what it is for. You can pop that around if you want to. But we'll get this fit into place. This draw cord is gonna go around the outside of this seatbelt receiver and in between the 20 section seat and the driver's seat. So we're gonna get that on. Now I'm going to pull this down a little bit right there. And this portion is gonna push towards the back. Oh, you know what? And I did that seat bib a little too prematurely here, guys. So if you're watching this sequentially in the video, I already filmed hooking on the seat bib. We're actually gonna need to release that seat bib. It'll be easier to connect up this driver bottom with that seat bib open, but that's okay. It'll just take a second to do that. So now that I have that pushed through, the next thing I'm gonna do is reach towards the back, pull that back after I get that seat bib back off, and then I'll show you on this outside how to tuck this in, make sure it looks really nice here. Now we're on the back side right here. We're pulling this back side of the driver bottom through a little bit more to get into place. And then there's also these straps that come from the front of the seat bottom, and they're gonna go up above any electrical cables underneath here. So I'm staying as close to the bottom of the seat as I can, coming back here to this buckle, and this is how I go through these buckles. So there's 2 that you're gonna have to do like this, through the middle slot right here, and then the outside slot with the teeth, just like this. So going through right like that here. And then we're gonna cinch that down nice and tight. And pull that forward. Okay, great. So I got that down. Now, the next part is to get the draw cord tied up. And here's this outside draw cord, well, the inside draw cord, but the outside I actually need to push through right now. We're gonna show you how to do that from the outside. Now we're gonna do this outside section right here, get this tucked in. Now, another quick tip that I didn't mention earlier, and I should have, is raise that seat up all the way up when you're passing those buckles underneath, and when you're tying these draw cords. It just gives you more space underneath that seat. Because in an electric seat, raise it up all the way. The other thing in this electric seat, I have it pulled all the way forward, so when I get this, because what I want to do is I need to pull this a little bit further back, I can tell. So I'm gonna actually go on the back side here and slide this forward, or slide this backwards, I should say, a little bit more. And when I grab the back side of the cover, that can help me shift that cover back a little bit more. Okay, so that's looking better. Right there is just a little bit of a shift that I needed. The front side's lined up pretty good, actually, so I about have it in its place. Now, what we need to do, though, is we're going to take this section and we're going to tuck that in. Because you don't want to have a draw cord going around the outside of the seat, and you don't want to have this flapping out. So we're going to take this right here, and I'm taking my install tool, a little trim tool here. We're going to trim this out by tucking it in. like this. Now when you get to this area right here, the draw cord is going to pass between the seat cushion and the plastic right here. You can see where I have it pass through. Then you're going to pull that down the rest of the way, because this is going to go tie off towards the back. Okay, we'll do that in our next video clip here. But what I need to do with this is finish tucking this down in here, like so. There we go. Okay, so we got that tucked in right there. So it should finish like this, guys. Sometimes I see customers send us photos of the drawstring going around the outside. No, it's not designed like that. It should give you a nice finished look, so that way it tucks into that trim like that. So it looks a lot better doing it like that. Okay, so that's how this side goes. Let's go around to the back again. We'll tie up that draw cord. We're taking this draw cord. I've tied a knot, a little noose on one side right here. And so I'll loop right there, and then I'm gonna loop around here with the other side, and then we're gonna get it to our desired tightness. Okay, and when I pull on these draw cords, I always just pull straight back like that, and then I just take the slack out with that 90-degree angle right there. Okay, so just pulling that slack out right there. That's looking good. Okay, it doesn't have to be super tight. This is more for aesthetics, to kind of get the bottom skirt tucked up underneath. And then I'm just gonna finish by tying that off and another knot right there. You can see why it was super helpful for us to release that seat bib again, to be able to work underneath here. This excess, you can just take that and tuck it underneath to a solid spring underneath the seat. You could trim that shorter too as well. Now the very last thing I'll do is go back to the seat and compress the cushion a little bit more and pull these straps and buckles, pull these just a little bit tighter, just to make sure I'm getting that slack all pulled out on that seat bottom. What you're gonna do now is just compress on the seat while you pull that strap and buckle. So it's that strap that went around the buckle right now, and we're just pulling that a little bit tighter just to compress that down a little bit more and get that nice and snug tight to those seats here. I'm going to compress on that. It's just taking out the slack a little bit more. You don't have to go super tight with it, but that's just a little bit more right there. I'm just going to finish by massaging over the seat a little bit more, making sure that's all getting down good. Perfect. So that looks really good. That seat bottom is done. We're going to now move to the driver headrest. Here's the driver headrest. We have it pulled out. Here's the front side. It angles forward a little bit more like that. And the front side of the seat cover has a skinny section that's going to, at the end, tuck into a J-clip section. So again, this is the front side right here. And I typically do this, turn the cover inside out a little bit like this here. And what we'll do now is compress that cushion down like that as I pull this cover on top. Really, the trick is to compress that foam in the headrest as you pull this over. Now, one thing you may do is you could put this onto some carpet, and you could use your leverage. I will do that sometimes, and I'll put it on some carpet and pull down on the carpet like that. That can be a helpful angle to pull on. But now, once I got it to about there, that's when I pop this over, kind of that end piece that I had folded inside out there. Pulled that over, and we have this cover on now. And the last bit here is to tuck these in. This is how this works. Again, this is the J-clip right here. We're going to take this skinny part right here, and I always like starting with one corner first, because if you can get one corner in, then the rest of it will go. So I'll start with that corner. So I got that corner in right here, and then I'll push the rest of it. Push the rest of it in. There it goes. Okay, so now that's clipped in, and that headrest is on. Sweet. Okay, so that's how that looks. Now we're gonna go get this put back in the seat. We're just getting this pushed back in. Now you do need to push that button to have it go all the way in. Okay, there's that headrest. Now we have that matching headrest, matches with the trim. That's your trim choice. That color matching up there. There's that insert contrast. Looks really cool. I like this. It's matching up really nice with this truck. Now it's time to do the 20 section. If you have buckets with a center console, a hard console, you could skip that and move right to the back seats. But this one is a 20 section, so we do have in the Genuine Leather series, it does cover 20 sections backs and bottoms. So the cloth portion, it would cover those. So we'll get a backrest on, a bottom on, and show you how that works. Now this 20 section is a top storage and a bottom storage 20 section. And you'd give us all those details as you're getting your seat cover ordered. You send us photos. We always request photos to dial this all in, make sure it's gonna be a guaranteed tight fit for your vehicle. So we'll do the 20 section backrest first. There will not be a 20 section lid cover because this is, it's in the Genuine Leather series. That's not included on it. Genuine Leather series, we just cover over the cloth portions, essentially turning the cloth into a leather look and feel. So this is a 3 cup holder console, so you'll still have access to your 3 cup holders here. We'll pull this over like that. Oh, you know what? And I need to get this pulled over on the top. So I made a quick mistake there. I actually need to open up this Velcro on the back side right here and then slide that over. So make sure you're doing that, just because there's going to be, those two pieces need to connect together in the back. Now so again, there's that top portion right here that needs to be there. So we're going to pull this over like this. Okay, so just getting that work towards there, towards the back. I'll take this section here, pull that nice and tight here, and then push this towards the back, and that's where there's going to be Velcro on the back side for it to connect to. All right, so now I'll connect this up and I'll show you on the back side here how this looks as we're connecting up here. Now we need to connect this hook Velcro to this loop Velcro right here. This is on the back side of the 20 section backrest. So we'll get this connected up here. Okay, so that's looking good there. Now we're going to come back around to the top section and connect up the Velcro up here. Now we're going to connect this Velcro right here, pulling this together like that, right here, and then there's this other section of Velcro that we're going to pull up right here. Okay, so those Velcro pieces are connected up there now, like that. That's looking good. Cup holders are still accessible. 20 section backrest. Let's see if we got to tuck anything else in. Yeah, so there's this little flap right here that I need to tuck in. Just gonna push that in. Inside here, it's gonna have this hinge area. Have some extra fabric, so a little more coverage in there. So I'm just tucking that in right there. So now, there we go. So that looks a lot better there. Okay, perfect. So that 20 section backrest is done. Now we're gonna move on to the 20 section bottom. Here's the 20 section bottom. Have it lifted up right now, like that. And I know this is the underside because this has this cutout right here for the handle. There's this big old handle right here that we're gonna work through, get that pulled through. So we're gonna start to pull this over. Like that. Okay, so now here's the handle part. Let's just pull that to the side there. There we go, we got that. So I just had to pull it side to side and then it popped underneath. Okay, good. So now I'm just pulling that nice and tight right there. Now this Velcro on the top is gonna push around. And we're going to connect this up right here. Okay, great. So that's connected up there now. Like that. So there's that 20 section bottom. Just tuck this in a little bit more down there. And tuck that in. Okay, so 20 section bottom, that looks good there. So that one's done. 20 section backrest is done. Those are all covered. Now it's time to move to the back seat. Now we're working on the rear seat. This rear seat is a 60-40 split bench. So there's a 60 section on the passenger side that folds independently from the 40 section, which is on the driver's side, with a center armrest that folds down here, 2 outside large headrests and a small inside middle headrest. So that's the makeup of these seats. We're gonna first do the 60 section backrest, and first step in doing the seats, just like the front seats, was to take the headrests out. You push in those buttons on the sides, those will pull off. Same thing here. Sometimes if they're older headrests like this 2018, a little older, and they're really dusty, This truck has been used as a construction truck, been in the mining industry. It can get a little dirty and a little tight to pull this out, but they did pull out okay for me. Here's the 60 section backrest right here. And before I start tightening anything down, I'm gonna pull this seatbelt out right here. Get that seatbelt on the outside of the cover. Now, how this cover is gonna fasten down is there's gonna be Velcro that's gonna go down on the back side right here and connect up to the Velcro that's on the front side. And so we're gonna release that. There's these straps that are these are guide straps to help guide these sections down towards the back for us. Now when the seat's in the up position, you're gonna have more space on the back right here. And so I'm gonna take this guide strap right here and I'm gonna take that and drop that down right here towards the bottom, and then this material is going to pull down as well. But the first thing I have to grab is the guide strap. First thing I have to do is pull the guide strap. I'm going to pull this platform out a little bit. If you have this platform on your truck, you can pull this out. It just gives me a little bit more space to work with underneath here. And let's see if I can find this guide strap again. It should just drop straight down. If it gets caught on something as it's going down, then you won't be able to grab it. Let's see if that did it that time there. Yeah, I can feel it now. So there's, and then once I get it here, then I can pull the rest of this material down. Okay, so that's pulled down a little bit right there. Now, what I'm gonna do just to kind of keep this cover, because it's a bigger cover to kind of manage, what I'll do is I'm gonna take these headrest post areas, these pre-punched holes for the headrest posts, and I'm gonna get this tucked around, just like we did on the front seats. We're gonna take this and tuck this underneath here. Okay, using my install tool to do that, and should finish out like that when I'm done. Okay, so there's the second one there. Now what I'll do is I'm going to take this guide strap, pass this down as well. And so there's two guide straps here, and then there's another outside strap right here to the bottom. Let's see if there's, yeah, and so there's two bottom outside ones. That'll help pull in those bottom corners a little bit more right there. So next step is to take this guide strap right here. We're gonna pass this down again right here in the middle. Now when I open this up, it opens up the space right here a little bit more. But I will say sometimes it pushes the bottom of that seat against the backrest a little bit. So it may be helpful to put that in the middle position. Right there, the seat's at about a 45-degree angle right here. I think that's gonna help pass that guide strap down a little bit better. Yeah, it did. So there's that. So now I have that strap I'm gonna start pulling that down right there. I'll get this corner pulled over while we're over here as well. Now I'm lined up pretty good. I can get these tucked around. Okay, got that one done here. Let's get this one tucked around. Okay, so those tucked around nicely like that. So I have that corner down pretty good. This corner is really not on yet, so let's work on this one over here now. So just massaging over to kind of get that shoulder section of the seat cover into place there. Okay, so that's looking pretty good there. Now this guide strap, this is actually going to go around towards the back side here. And let's see if we can get this passed. So the goal here is to take this around towards the back. And so then I can finish pulling this cover backwards. Okay, so I got that guide strap there, so that's pulled towards the back there. Okay, just working that cover in, slowly but surely, just getting it tucked in to that area there. Again, the guide strap's gonna help pull the back side of that around like that. Here's this armrest cavity and cutout. I'll show you that here shortly. Okay, so that shoulder's looking good there. Let's come back around over to here, and it may be time to start connecting some of this Velcro. So again, there's Velcro right here, and this is gonna pass through the seat and connect to that Velcro on the back side of the cover that we just pulled down between the back of the cab and the seat there. Now, just a quick heads up, these are ISOFIX bars right here. That's for the child seats, so you can clip in child seats. I'm always struggling to find those in our car. They're like hard to find sometimes. But this one sticks out pretty prominently, easy to find, which is cool. So, but that, just a heads up on that, this ISOFIX bar comes out of the bottom seat. So don't take this backrest and cover over that, because the bottom seat cover is gonna have a slot for that. So right now, with the backrest cover, we're just going above that right here, okay? So just make sure you're going above your ISOFIX bars. Okay, now what we're gonna do is just finish tucking this down right here. And then on the bottom, and we'll show you this on a different angle, we're gonna get that Velcro connected, the two connected right there. Now what we're doing here is we're taking this Velcro right here. This was the front side of the backrest cover. And we're gonna connect that to the back side. And how I'm gonna do that is taking my hands, I'm pulling that Velcro down, nice and tight. I'll smooth that on the top a little bit more with my hand, just make sure I'm not getting caught on anything. And then what I'll do is we're gonna take this this guide strap right here, and that's gonna be our best friend as we pull this Velcro together here. And so I'm gonna take that Velcro that I just smoothed out here and take this guide strap, and then that guide strap's gonna help me pull and stick this Velcro on. Stick this Velcro together right there. Okay, so we're sticking that together right there. Trying to get as much of that Velcro to connect together as possible. And then there's this outside guide strap that has Velcro on it. And this as well, we're gonna pull that nice and tight as we can go. And then we're gonna take this and connect that on to this Velcro as well, right there. Okay, so that's what you want to do on both this section, and there's another section over there, so, and both sides, get that tucked in. Once that's all tucked in, you could cut these guide straps if you wanted to. You know, most likely you're not doing a whole lot underneath here anyhow, so you could just leave those if you ever need to reinstall the covers, because they are helpful to install the covers. So I'll just leave those there for now, and then we'll smooth out the top here. Now it's time to do this armrest. And you can see this backrest is all looking good here. That's on tight. We need to do this armrest and the armrest cavity section. And what we'll do is let's actually do this armrest cover, and then I'll show you how to tuck this cavity in here. Here's this armrest cover. We're gonna start pulling this on. The top side is this square one with the square cutout for the cup holders. Just gonna start pulling that over here. Now, when I have it right there, I'm going to take this little tab, pull this tab out right here so you can still have your pull tab. Okay, so we got that pulled out there. Okay, and then this has Velcro on both sides that we're gonna push through towards the back and connect up. So I'm just going to take my time as I push that towards the back there. Here's that Velcro coming through right now. Got some piece of trash on the back side here, just that falling through. Let's get that out. I can tell I got some fabric that's not coming through yet, so I'm just going to come around here and push the edges here through. Okay, that's coming up more how it should. Okay, now I'm gonna stretch this Velcro together and see if we can get that connected up. I'm going to take my trim tool and just push some of this fabric in here, make sure that everything's going in. It's actually easier to do with my hand so I can feel where that fabric is going. Okay, give this another pull here. There we go. That's coming up. That's coming up a lot better now. Okay, getting this stuck together there. Just kind of have to take your time and work at that. Get that stuck on there. It's tight, but it does go. It just takes some time to work that in there. Okay, now when you have that connected there on the back, the other thing you're going to want to do is take this section right here and tuck this in to this plastic right here, like this. Okay, good. So there's that armrest. That's on. Looking good. Now what we'll do is get this cavity section. This needs to get tucked in now. And there's four sides to it that we need to do. Here's this. Might do this bottom section here first. I got some more trash that falls into these armrest cavities, just like happens on everybody's vehicles. You get trash everywhere. So I'm gonna slide some of this out here. All right, so now we're gonna take this, and how these work is this section right here, you just have to push it into the plastic trim. Once you get it pushed in, then it holds. So you just have to take your time working that in, and push it underneath the plastic. Okay, I can feel that pushing into the plastic. I'll show you these other ones with a little bit better view here. All right, so what we'll do here is take this section right here. This is just gonna push in to that plastic here. You could use your trim tool. Some of this here, help you with that. You can see once you get it past that plastic there, it really sticks in nice. Just takes a second to work that in. Okay, there's the last part of it right there, going in now. Okay, it gives you a really nice inner cavity here. Takes a little bit more work to install, but you can see how nice and flush that cavity looks, right like that. I gotta finish this bottom one. That bottom one didn't get completely tucked in. So we'll finish that. Can't really see that bottom one as I do it, so we don't have to film it, but I'll finish tucking that in. I will just push that in there to the bottom, and I'll show you how it all finishes out once I finish that bottom. I have that bottom tucked in now, so you can see there's that armrest. Pulls out, looks nice there, tucks in, and this is all smoothed out. So backrest is all done, armrest is done. Now it's time to move on to the 60 bottom. So now we're doing the 60 bottom, this piece right here. And what I'm gonna do here is get this opened up. Here's the cover. Just one big piece with Velcro on the back side of it. And put that into the up position here. This does have carpet on the back side, so I'm gonna fold this inside out a little bit just to help prevent that Velcro from sticking. It'll want to stick on that carpet as I try to pull it down. Okay, sliding this on here. So now I'll take this, and this is the big cutout here for the ISOFIX bars. There's two ISOFIX bars right next to each other, so there's a cutout there and another one over here. So I'm just pushing this material down towards the back. Now there doesn't need to be a cutout for all of the seatbelt receivers, because the seatbelt receiver actually goes all the way to the floorboard. So if you're looking for cutouts for your seatbelt receivers, you won't find them. Those go all the way down to the floorboard. And actually it'll be better for me to actually pull these seatbelts down, or just get them out of the way, because I need to connect up the seat cover, and then the seatbelt receivers can then push back through. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second as I get some more of this material pushed through. Okay, so I'm just pulling this through right now. Now one mistake that you might make, and then I just made here, is I was like, oh, here's the cutout for the seatbelt receiver, and that's not the case. It's just for the ISOFIX bars. So actually this seatbelt, this portion of the cover, it needs to go underneath, or else it won't allow me to connect up my Velcro. So let me pull this out right here. Then I'm gonna go underneath the seatbelt receiver, because this is like one big sleeve that's going around the actual seat cushion. And this goes all the way down in between the seat cushion and the backrest, all the way to the floorboard. So that's why there's not a cutout for that. It actually just comes between the seat crack here. So make sure that you don't make that mistake that I just made there. So okay, so we're getting this seat cover material pulled down here. Just to save you the pain of watching me do this the whole time, I'll just explain it that I'm gonna get this Velcro pulled down. Once I have this all pulled down, ready to attach, I'll show you how we attach it, but I'm just gonna take my time working that down a little bit more, and we'll get it connected up. So, okay, biggest thing to avoid on this is when you're pushing that fabric down, make sure you're not pushing it underneath the ISOFIX bars, okay? So I kind of got caught up on one ISOFIX bar over here, and you know, that was a struggle. So just make sure that there's openings for the ISOFIX bars. I also took those seatbelt receivers and I just pushed them down to the floorboard because they were getting in my way as I was trying to push this down. So just push those seatbelt receivers all the way down to the floorboard. You don't need them right now as we're doing this seat cover install. We'll push them back up later. And then get these cutouts, going around the ISOFIX bars. So, and the top of the cutout needs to go around it and then towards the back. Okay, so we have those worked out there, and then on the underside here, biggest trick, because this is a really tight install. The genuine leather seat covers are very tight. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my top hand, my right hand, I'm going to push down right here, take out the slack, hold it, and then take my left hand and connect that Velcro. Okay, so how that's going to look is, here's a section right here that I need to tighten up. So I'm going to open this Velcro up a little bit more right here to get a better latch on it. But you can see here's my top hand right here, and I'm pulling that around. And then I'm going to take that left hand and stick that on right there. Okay. So again, that helps a lot to pull that slack out from the top, and you're also compressing the seat cushion as you're doing that, and then it allows you to stick that on better. Okay. So we'll do that here as well. Up towards the top. So taking that slack out, pulling that down right there, and then connect that Velcro together right there. Okay. So we have that all connected on there. I may do a few minor little adjustments to it just to smooth this out a little bit more. But all in all, that's really how you get that done. And that bottom is on, all connected up, looking good. Now we're doing the headrests. These are the rear headrests. This is one of the rear outside larger headrests. And let's do that one first. The front side is going to be this part with the skinny section that's going to push into the J-clip that's on the back. Okay, and the front side of the actual headrest has a little bit more of a curve to it right there. Okay, so that is the front, and we're going to get this on by compressing down on that cushion, that headrest foam. Okay, and then slide that cover on top of it there. I'll check the front to make sure it's all lined up nice and looking good before I connect up the bottom here. But now that's what we'll do here, is connect up this bottom like this. Oops. And again, I always go for one edge, one corner here first. See if I got it there. There it goes. Okay, so now it's pushed in the J-clip there. We're good to go. That one's done. Put that to the side. Here's this middle small headrest. The front side is a little more curved like this. The back side's pretty obvious on this headrest. It has these two posts to it, and so again, the front side of the cover is gonna be this skinny section right here. I found the biggest trick with these small headrests is to just barely cap one side as you try to stretch this over to get the other side on. And as always, just compress that cushion down and in. Okay, so that's looking good there. Now we just need to finish off by doing the J-clip. Just like the other ones. If you can do a corner first, I like to do a corner first. But this one's a little tighter in the middle right here, so we're just gonna push that whole clip in. There it is. So got that in there now. Okay. So there's that middle headrest right there. So that one's all done. Have those. We'll just get those put back into the seats. Now we're just gonna get these back in. And again, you got to push that button in to get it all the way down. Okay. Oh, it looks so good when you have matching headrest to match it up here. Love it. Now, to get this headrest in, you do need to lift the bottom seat up just because it's a pretty tall headrest. And then pushing that button in, that'll get the headrest in. There we go. Okay, that completes the install. Really good job, guys, if you were doing that. Always happy to help you through any of these installs. Contact our team. Let's do it. Thanks for watching this video. Again, this has been Neil here with Covers Camo, your source for custom seat covers. We offer seat covers for trucks, Jeeps, cars, SUVs, and those UTVs. So if you're thinking about getting seat covers on a vehicle, you need to jump over to coversandcamo.com. Again, we look forward to building you an awesome looking set of seat covers, but you need to go over to Covers and Camo to see more. Again, see more at coversandcamo.com.